Hey guys, I'm walking home from CrossFit right now. The workout today was gross and I think I swallowed down puke about 3 times, but I did it and I jogged there, which probably wasn't the best idea, but I did that too. So safe to say I am walking back, not jogging. Being that I have this walk ahead of me, I thought it was a really good opportunity to talk about something that I really do want to share because I'm passionate about it and because a lot of people ask me about it. Look at me, I'm freaking winded just from talking and walking. That's how lame I am. Okay, so what I want to talk about is finding freedom from food, and this is something that I talk about often and I post about often. Somebody just passed me, is looking at me like, who the fuck is she talking to? Wait, before we get into anything, is a cool down still considered a cool down if you're walking in the heat and you're just getting hotter? I don't think this is a cool down. Okay, I'm home now. I definitely couldn't walk and talk and sweat and die in the heat at the same time. So, all right, back to the discussion at hand. Defining what freedom from food means. This is why you can't wear eyeliner when you work out. Okay, freedom from food. This is obviously my own personal interpretation. You can't look this up in the dictionary. This is based on my experiences and my story. So what freedom from food to me means is being able to eat and not have that associated with any obsessive thoughts, patterns, behaviors, habits. Also, I believe that means being able to eat without any, overly controlling habits as well. So I would say eating freely and eating for your body and your goals without having to measure your food, weigh your food, obsessively track your food. Freedom from food means not relying on numbers and an app or whatever telling you what your body needs. Because, listen, our bodies are crazy and they go through things every day that we're not even aware of, whether it's fighting off germs and bacteria or, based on how much sleep you've had or how much water you've consumed or so hormonally, our bodies are changing constantly. So for us to be like, my body needs 140 grams of carbs a day is fucking stupid. Calorie counting, what I found, is such an inexact science for so many reasons. And especially if you've never gone and had a real gas mask BMR test. And if you've never done that and you're basing it on MyFitnessPal or what Joe Schmo dickhead the coach is telling you, likely those numbers are not precise. They could be close, but they're not precise. And like I said, based on the fact that our bodies are constantly changing from day to day, some days you need more, some days you need back to freedom from food. It's all about learning how to eat for your body without having to use these super controlling means of eating. And some of you might be like, well, how am I going to see results? Well, you learn how to eat for your body intuitively, and I feel like I've learned to do that. I think that I look great, and, that's not being conceited, but I've gone through the weight gain, the weight loss, the muscle growth, the, muscle loss, everything, trying to find what was right for my body. And I feel like I'm at a point now where I look healthy, I look strong, I look lean. I'm not trying to put stress on my body by bulking and cutting and up and down. And right now I'm just trying to maintain the physique that I have. It's a very freeing thing to just work on maintenance and not have to worry about, cycles of changing my body. No, my body is what it is right now. And that's fucking it. If I want to do cardio, I'm going to do cardio. If I want to lift weights, I'm going to lift weights. If I want to do CrossFit or spin or yoga, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And it's such a liberating and empowering thought process to be able to think that way and be like, it's okay. I want to take a rest day. I want to take a whole week of rest. Who cares? Doesn't matter. The way that I got here to this point where I'm free from food and exercise in a way, not having to do specific splits, like leg day, back day, some days I do leg day, some days I'm gonna do legs all week, whatever. I think that this freedom came first of all from 3 very important things. Number one is when you first start to embark on this journey of freedom from food, you have to separate yourself from your quest for perfect aesthetics. So if right now your goal is like, I really want a six-pack, I really want to get leaner, you're not going to be free from food, because that preoccupation with your external body, that does not work hand in hand with freedom from food. Can you get the body you're looking for being free from food and eating intuitively? Absolutely, I have. But you have to go through the undulations and the fluctuations in that in-between phase to find what works for your body. You gotta definitely pull back a little from the obsessing over what your body looks like. So if right now your goal, you have to think to yourself, what's my first and foremost goal? If your first and foremost goal is, I want to look slamming, I want to be super ripped, then chances are you got to relinquish the desire to be free from food. If your number one goal right now is, I want to be free from food because I'm tired of thinking about this, it gives me anxiety, it gives me stress, I feel like shit constantly, I feel guilty about food when I'm not on my plan, and that's your number one goal, then you have to say, you know what, I'm going to put aside my aesthetic goals for right now, and I'm going to focus on being free from food. You cannot do both at the same time. Once you learn how to eat intuitively and you learn how to eat for your body and you're at peace with that, then yeah, you can make it work for your body and end up, you know, getting the body that you want. But you can't get in that journey while you're still obsessing over your body. It just doesn't happen like that. And stopping obsessing from your body is a choice. Doesn't feel like a choice because it's like, well, that's the first thing I think when I wake up. I ab check in the mirror. It feels involuntary, but it is very voluntary, and you're making it a choice to prioritize that being, you know, a priority above all other things. Number two is kind of an extension of that, and it's like, well, I really can't help but obsess over my body and what I look like. Well, that's a symptom of another problem. You're not just broken and your brain just works in this way. You're using your body as something to obsess over as a result of other more painful or uncomfortable mental or emotional issues. Not saying that you have to be mentally ill or completely a loony bin to be in this position. My arms are getting tired from holding this up. I need to find a better system. So you don't have to be completely, you know, one flew over the cuckoo's nest to be completely preoccupied with your body, but your dire need to look a certain way is not, first of all, it's not healthy. So people who hide behind like, well, I'm so healthy and my body is my temple. No, that's not true. If you want to free yourself from that hold that your body has on you, you have to first dig down. So this actually comes before just the notion of dissociating with the body obsession. You have to first understand the reasons deep down inside that are causing you to be obsessed with your body. What are you avoiding? How is this distracting you? Is this a control thing? Is this an I'm not good enough thing? And I'm not lovable if I'm not looking like this thing? Did this come from rejection somewhere in your life? Or try to find the root of the problem, address it, and move on so that you can then dissociate from the issues. Yeah. Number three is having to go cold turkey. I'm talking like stop all of the obsessive behaviors regarding food. So if you're like really, really crazy with your meal planning, meal prepping, measuring, weighing, macros, MyFitnessPal, gym has to be this plan every day, you have like your really crazy routine and you're trying to break away from that, it's not going to do you any good to like kind of break away or maybe I'll loosely track my macros. No, fucking delete MyFitnessPal. Throw your scale, your food scale under the bed, take the batteries out, throw them out the window, and say, give yourself like a month, 2 months, whatever. Give yourself like a deadline to say, from this day until that day, I'm not doing anything that has to do with obsessively tracking, measuring, weighing, or all the things that I talked about earlier as being, in my opinion, controlling behaviors. Then once you get to your deadline, whether that's a month, 2 months, or whatever you set up for yourself, reevaluate and say, how is this working for me? Do I need extra help? Is this just not for me? Is this too hard for me? Is this easier than I thought it would be? Give yourself until that day to say, if this is totally horrible, I can drop it and go back to what I'm comfortable with. So I think that mentally definitely helps as far as getting it started, because this could be really overwhelming and scary to a lot of people. You have to go cold turkey with these things, because that's like an alcoholic, not saying this is, everyone's like an alcoholic that feels this way, but that's like an alcoholic being like, I'm going to go from 12 drinks at night to 10 at first, and then I'll scale down. That's not how it works. You gotta just bitch slap yourself in the face, pull yourself away, and see what happens, And while you're pulled away, focus on internally. What's going on? What kind of emotions are you feeling? I find journaling to be such an effective tool in doing this kind of stuff. I just started doing intuitive eating coaching with people, and a huge aspect of this is journaling. And I find that self-reflection is hands down the most effective tool when trying to go through this transition of obsessive or just over-consuming thoughts about your body and food and working out, to trying to be free from that. So that's pretty much it. So the 3 things are: go cold turkey, no more tracking, no more obsessing, pull yourself out of the habits. You're still going to have the thoughts, but just cut the habits out. Getting down to the emotional issues that are causing you to be this way, because it's not just who you are, it's a symptom, like I said. And the other one being to pull your thoughts away from the external form, making your mentality for a little while, like, my goal is not to gain, my goal is not to lose. I don't have body goals right now. My number one goal is being free from food. So those are the 3 things. And keep in mind that these are not advice for people with actually diagnosed or diagnosable eating disorders. That requires professional help, which feel free to email me for references if you need. I went through it, and treatment was what saved my life, and that's what catapulted this process. But the freedom from food happened after I went to treatment and actually recovered from my eating disorders. So this is not Eating Disorder Recovery 101. This is people that are a little too obsessed and preoccupied with food and working out. If you are struggling with an eating disorder, please contact a mental health professional or crisis line, because this is not what you should be doing. You need to be getting professional help. So that's it. I hope that you found this useful and helpful. Thank you for spending time with me on this lovely Sunday. Have a good day. Bye.